Hello traders, Rich here and welcome to a new video. As you all know, support and resistance are one of the most used tools in forex trading as it's easy to spot and draw. However, everyone seems to have a different way to draw or even trade support and resistance. So in this video, I'm going to list the two types of support and resistance and how to use it the proper way. If you are new here, do not forget to subscribe to our channel to stay updated as we post 2 videos per week on average. So let's get started. As mentioned, we have two types of support and resistance, long-term and short-term. The long-term ones are what we call key level that we can find on daily and weekly time frame, and we will use these key levels to look for potential buy or sell opportunities around it. The short-term ones are what we call market structure that we will use to know who is currently in control, the buyers or the sellers, and can also be used as a trigger and can be found on any time frame. So let's open our charts and look for live examples. Let's start with the key levels. Here we have GBP USD daily time frame, and we usually use RichTL to spot objective support and resistance zone with our students by connecting at least 3 dots. So 1, 2 and 3, and starting here we can look for objective sell setups on lower time frames. Unless price breaks it upward, then our resistance will become support and we'll be looking for objective buy setups on its retest. But this video is not about RichTL, so let's delete it and try to find classic objective support and resistance. The simplest way to identify key rejection, support and resistance zones is to draw a random line on your chart and drag and drop it in a way to connect at least 3 major swings. We need the swings to be major and not minor ones. For example, many traders consider that this is a swing, another one, and a third one. As you can see, 1, 2, and 3. But we consider that an entire swing is a one major swing. So we have 1, 2, and here's a third one. That's why we call it a support and resistance zone, because it can connect 2 swing lows, 1 swing high, or 2 swing highs and 1 swing low. So here it was acting as support and here it was acting as resistance. So starting from here, we can start to look for objective sell setups as price approaches it. Here we go. Until price breaks it upward, then our resistance will become support. Anyway, we will give you more examples about a support turn into a resistance and vice versa. For now, let's continue and draw more support and resistance zones. For example, this support and resistance is not valid as it only connects 1 swing. We don't have any other 2 swings to consider it valid, so for now it's not valid and we have to delete it. And this one as well is not valid as it only connects 1 swing. We don't have anything here and we don't have anything here, so it's not valid as well. Let's delete it and continue. Let's draw a new line and drag and drop it to find more support and resistance zones. We already found this one using RichTL, so let's keep it and move forward. I can see that we have one around here. As you can see, first swing, second swing and third swing. So starting from here, we can look for buy opportunities as long as price is above it and sell opportunities as price breaks it downwards. And as usual, our support and resistance are zones on our chart and not laser lines, so we always make it like a zone. Here we go. Let's delete our line as we don't need it anymore. So starting around here, we can start to look for potential buy and sell opportunities around our blue zone as it is already valid from these 3 swings. Here we go. Here's our first buy opportunity, and then price made another retest and a third one, of course. So here, here and here we could look for buy opportunities, then price made a build up around it and broke it downward. So now our support is acting as resistance, and around here we could look for potential sell opportunities. Then again our resistance was broken upward and we could look for buy opportunities on its retest, and that's our previous support and resistance. It was valid, as you can see, 1, 2 and 3. So we could look for sell setups around here and also buy opportunities on the support retest. Then price broke our support downward aggressively, so it's now acting as resistance, and we could look for sell opportunities around here and here as well. Now price is retesting our resistance zone again, so we'll be looking for objective sell setups on lower time frames around this area. Unless price breaks it upward aggressively, then our resistance will become support once again, and we'll be looking for objective buy setups on its retest, and the next resistance would be the green area. So long story short, if price is sitting around here, we will wait for price to approach our upper resistance to look for sell opportunities, or to approach the lower support in blue to look for buy opportunities. Unless price breaks our resistance upward, then it will become support, and it will be sitting inside the upper blue resistance and lower green support. So we'll be looking for buy opportunities around here and sell opportunities around here. So let's draw our last support and resistance zone and make a quick brief, then we'll discuss fake breakouts and how to avoid it. As you can see here, we have a valid support and resistance zone as it connects 3 swings, 1, 2 and 3. So starting from here, we can start to look for buy opportunities as price approaches it, and if price breaks it downward, then our support will become resistance, and we'll be looking for objective sell setups on its retest. In brief, it's like the chart is a building and support and resistance are its foundation and floors. So once you identify your key rejection, support and resistance, trading will become simpler, as you know what to look for, where to look for buy opportunities and where to look for sell setups. For example, if price is around here, then it's stuck inside these two support and resistance zones. We'll be looking for buy opportunities around support and sell opportunities around resistance until price breaks into a new floor. Then it will be stuck inside these two, new support and resistance, and so on. So for example, now price is sitting inside this floor, then this is our resistance, and we'll be looking for objective sell setups around it. And as price approaches our lower support area in red, we'll be looking for buy opportunities on lower time frames. Now regarding fake breakouts, let's take 2 examples. Here we have an example and the latest one here as well. So let's zoom in. Here we go. The first trick to avoid false breakouts is to treat your support and resistance as zones and not laser lines. Many traders draw the support and resistance like this, like a level connecting this swing, this one here, and this swing, which is completely fine as the support and resistance is valid, connecting at least 3 swings. However, they enter immediately after a momentum candle close below the support. They enter sell, which is completely wrong, and as you can see, price rejected it again and traded higher. The reason why is because, as mentioned at the beginning of the video, every trader draw the support and resistance differently. For example, trader A draw his support and resistance like this, trader B draw it around here, and trader C and D saw it like this. So in order for our support to be broken, price has to make an aggressive movement downward to break the support for everyone. Which brings us to our tip number 2. Tip number 1 was we have to treat our support and resistance as zones and not lines. Tip number 2, don't enter sell on support and don't enter buy on a resistance break, because one candle close below support is not enough to turn it into a resistance. So don't enter sell on the support break, just wait for an aggressive movement downward to break the support for everyone, and then look for sell opportunities on its retest. That's how we treat our support and resistance as zones, and it will save us from fake breakouts. Exactly like here, price broke it downward, we didn't sell, price made an aggressive movement downward. Now our support is acting as resistance, and we can look for objective sell setups on lower time frames as price retests our resistance. Now let's delete our lines and look for one more example. Just a moment. Here we go. That's our recent example here. Let's zoom out and look for our support and resistance. Here we go. So for example, many traders draw their support and resistance like this, connecting this swing here, and this swing and this swing. So it's a valid support and resistance, and many traders entered buy after a momentum candle close above it, as mentioned before, which is completely wrong, as price didn't make an aggressive movement upward, and then and only then we will be looking for objective buy setups on its retest, as after a momentum movement upward, the resistance would be broken for everyone and it will become support. But for now our resistance is still a resistance, and we are still looking for objective sell setups, and the reason behind this movement upward is to get more liquidity for the sellers to be able to push price lower more aggressively. So now, as mentioned before, price is trading now inside this floor, so we'll be looking for objective sell setups around here, as a movement till our next support would be expected. Unless price breaks it upward aggressively, then a movement till our next resistance would be expected. That's it for long-term support and resistance key rejection levels. Hopefully by next week we will make a part 2 to discuss short-term support and resistance. I'll see you on the next one.